game changed. Here to tell you all about it, the chairman of Matchroom Sport, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Thank you, David. Oh, you've done that before, in Milan, I think. Thank you very much, David. It's very warm up here. I don't know how warm you must be there, but if you see me squirming around, these chairs are very, very warm. We want to welcome you to the home of Matchroom Sport, the Matchroom Sport headquarters, a place that's incredibly important to us. And when we sat here just over a year ago thinking about what we were going to do during the pandemic, when everything was taken away from us that we love, live crowds, the energy, Sweet Caroline, big fight nights, big crowds at weigh-ins and press conferences, we decided to stage something very special here at the home of Matchroom Sport. We brought together an incredible concept of Fight Camp, which over a series of weeks provided a breath of fresh air, a much-needed lift for sport in general, not just in boxing. It was an incredible event, so much action, so many opportunities, world championship fights. And we felt with this new game-changing DAZN deal that this was the place that we would launch this exciting new relationship. Just over a week ago now, we made the decision and the announcement that we would be leaving Sky Sports over more than 25 years and joining DAZN in the UK, and of course expanding our relationship globally. This is unquestionably the most exciting project we have ever been involved with as a business, and of course me personally, and of course the sport of boxing. This gives a massive opportunity for us as a company, but also for fans around the world. Incredible value being delivered on DAZN with an incredible international schedule, but also for our fighters, many of which are here today, who we want to thank a lot. We often get, well, we always get approaches from the managers, the lawyers, the trainers. We want this fight. We want more money. And we needed an investment from a broadcast partner that could give our fighters what they deserve, not just in terms of the fights and the legacy, but also the financial rewards, which in this brutal sport is so important to make sure that they are rewarded every single time for the entertainment and the efforts that they put in. Not just that, but they're going to get the opportunity to fight all around the world as we expand this global relationship moving forward. Of course, we know already relationships with DAZN in the United Kingdom, in America, in Italy and Spain. Last week, a new partnership with Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso announced across Mexico as well. This is just the beginning of this incredible global journey with DAZN, who are truly the global home of boxing. We're going to talk to a number of fighters up here in due course, of course. This kicks off on July 31st here at Fight Camp. Conor Benn, one of the most exciting young fighters in world boxing today, will put it all on the line once again against Adrian Granados. In week 2, every time we see a domestic world title fight, it's just so good for British boxing. Kid Galahad and Jazza Dickens, after their Fight of the Year contender a few years back, will battle for the IBF World Featherweight title. And one of the biggest young stars in world boxing, Joshua Buatsi, will take the huge step up against Ricard Bolotniks, the MTK Golden Contract winner, on August the 14th. All of those nights stacked with action, and we'll talk more on that shortly. Right now, I'm going to pass over to James Rushton. James, very warm up here. It's been just over a week, an incredible period. I know all the analysis on the announcement was huge numbers, huge excitement, and ready to go now.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. You're absolutely right. I mean, we've said it a couple of times already, but the game has definitely been changed by this announcement. I think the fans and the press realised that this wasn't just Matchroom moving broadcasters. This was an opportunity for Matchroom and DAZN to take boxing globally, but also in the UK to the next step. And obviously we're delighted to be here today to talk to the press and the fans about that. From a DAZN perspective, we've been investing in boxing for over 3 years now. We've got a great relationship in the US. We've got a great relationship in terms of the global platform. But myself and Joe and the rest of the team always felt there was something missing. And that was this relationship in the UK and Ireland, to have a global exclusive partnership with Matchroom, to be able to make investments in the fights, in the shows, and take the sport onto the next level. So delighted to be here.
Obviously as well, a major move for us as a business, moving away from, if you like, a traditional broadcaster to a huge streaming giant in DAZN as well, a way that many rights holders are moving right now, and you're seeing a real shift in the way people are digesting content.
Yeah, exactly. I think we talked about it in the press last week. The world has changed. It's not changing, it has changed. Streaming platforms are the way we're all consuming our sort of entertainment content now. I won't bore people with stats, but there's far more people in purchasing streaming platforms and streaming services than there are linear pay TV. That's the future of sport. That's the future of all entertainment. We're very proud of the fact that yourself and Matchroom Boxing and several other high-profile rights holders around the world share in DAZN's vision. And we're just excited to sort of get it on and in particular prove to the fans that our investment, both in the US and in the UK and the rest of the shows we put on around the world, is all about the core values of DAZN, and that is making premium sport more accessible and more affordable.
And that's the key, isn't it? Affordable to fight fans. You know, I've been battling for a long time about particularly many pay-per-views where fight fans are spending more money across their subscription to watch high-quality shows and deep cards as well. And that's kind of like a clear message to fight fans here in terms of the value that DAZN will be delivering.
Yeah, exactly. DAZN is absolutely a value-based business. We can do things differently in DAZN, being a streaming platform, and we can therefore pass on some of those savings to the fans. And you'll see that, by the way, value doesn't mean lesser quality content or lesser quality shoulder programming or lesser quality production. You're going to talk about that up here later on. In fact, the far opposite. We're determined to not only deliver amazing shows, amazing content, have a high-class quality production, but do so at a price point that is far less than your traditional linear pay TV subscription, and certainly cheaper than pay-per-view fighting.
Thank you, James. Joe Markowski, welcome. You're kind of like 3 years in the game now, of course, being across the US launch as well, and we've learned so much there in the US. This market has been a huge success for you already, with very limited number of shows through the launch of the global platform across DAZN UK with Callum Smith, Canelo, and Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell, and Canelo against Billy Joe. Already in a tremendous position in terms of subscriber base as we start this journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And James spoke to our relationship with you that's built over 15 years back in the Perform days, and obviously more recently in the last 3. The final proof point I think we needed to justify this deal and to step in very confident as we are into the UK was the launch of that global platform back in December. The welcome we've had from British boxing fans, from Irish boxing fans, from the media here has been tremendous. I think it speaks to a lot of the excitement we have that fans are ready for change. They're ready for a new way to consume boxing, and they've opened their arms to us. So we're very confident as well as very excited to be, planting the DAZN flag properly in the UK, and we couldn't be, prouder to be stepping into that with Matchroom, a business that, as you say, we've got now a global relationship with, one that we're very committed to growing as we both expand around the world.
One thing I'm sure you'll find more about in terms of British fight fans, I'm sure you've seen it already, is their passion for boxing, their passion for the content, the cards, also the production as well, and the talent. And thank you, both of you, for giving Matchroom Media, our newly formed production and content business, the opportunity to run the live production. There will be a full announcement in terms of the talent that we'll be using later on this week. You know who they are. It's an incredible lineup. But also the money that's going to be invested across the production as well is key, because it's something that certainly live British fight fans are appreciative of.
Yeah, I think for us it's about delivering value. You'd say cradle to grave. James and I would probably say soup to nuts, but it's about the full experience that fans have in and around the DAZN product and the Matchroom product. That's not just live fights. It's the production, as you said a few times last week. British fight fans are almost as passionate about the quality of the production as they are about the quality of the matchmaking, the quality of the show. So we're going to invest in that. I also think for us, as we look at the full week and the full month of a subscriber's behaviour, serving them with high quality, innovative, original programming, that's definitely something that we're committed to investing in. That's off platform to raise the awareness of fights, but also on platform once we've acquired the subscriber, serving them with brilliant documentaries, brilliant features, all of the interviews, all of the opportunities you take to offer your opinion and the opinions of everyone else around the boxing game. So that, as well as the live events, there's adequate budget for that, there's a commitment to it, and there's a shared vision for it between us and Matchroom Media, so fans have got that to look forward to as well.
Obviously this is a major deal for DAZN and Matchroom as well, but just the start really of gearing up DAZN as what is really the unrivaled global home of boxing. Our partnership stemming across the UK and Ireland, the United States, Mexico now, of course, with Canelo Alvarez, Italy, Spain, and plenty more markets to come as we look to expand this project globally. And
yeah, look, we've been in the trenches together for 3 years over in the US. COVID was a big challenge to the sports industry and to our business together. I think our position in the US is the strongest it's ever been. In Italy and Spain, we've got a growing relationship there. The announcement with Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso last week in Mexico, an immediate sort of signal of our intentions, I think, to go and plant the DAZN and Matchroom flag around the world, open up new markets, gives fans more content week in, week out, but also give your fighters more and more opportunities to chase their dreams and fight around the world. So, yeah, plenty more to come, but very excited to be sat here today announcing this deal.
Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you, James, as well. And we're going to head back down shortly to Chris Lloyd and Darren Barker, who will no doubt be part of our big talent announcement later on this week. But exciting stuff, of course, the launch of DAZN and Matchroom's new UK and Ireland relationship as we expand globally at an impressive rate. We're going to have the fighters up here shortly. For now, back to the gentlemen.
So there we go, there are the guys. Does that mean we're in then, Darren? Congratulations. So there we go, that was James Rustin and Joe Markowski from DAZN talking through the new deal. Hell of an investment, and well, what an expansion it's going to be.
It's just epic. I mean, if you're a fan of this great sport, that you're just in for a treat. You know, some of the stumbling blocks have been over money, and it seems like there's a huge budget, and hopefully that would be the reason why we're just going to see the best fight the best. You know, that's what they've been promised. You know, game changed, and I think that's the only thing lacking in this sport is some of the best fighting the best, and it seems like Matchroom and DAZN are going to deliver that, and that for me as a fan is all I want.
And as they said, there'll be the first co-promotion with Eddie Reynoso and Canelo Alvarez in Canelo's birthplace of Guadalajara in 2 weeks' time, and then of course Fight Camp. So the first one, Saturday 31st of July, Conor Benn and Adrian Granados, the headliner. Conor Benn is here and he'll be up on stage in a couple of moments' time with Eddie Hearn. Adrian Granados is stateside, and we caught up with him earlier on this week. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I've been boxing for 16 years now, and I've actually never jumped a pond, so I'm excited to come over to the UK for the first time in my life. He seems hungry, you know, very confident. He's coming with everything, so I know he's probably looking to make a statement, you know, by beating me. I know he's going to be trying to stop me too as well. So, you know, it's exciting. I'm up for the challenge. He looks like he's ready to go. You know, like I said, I think, you know, with me, you know, now he's going to be trying to make a statement to, you know, show people that he's ready to go with the elites. You know, so I understand, you know, my role here and what's at the task at hand. You know, so I'm excited to get going with camp, and yeah, man, we're gonna be ready. Very excited. You know, I love, you know, what Matchroom has been doing with boxing, and you know, the work they've done. You know, I've always wanted to, you know, get some work in with Eddie Hearn. However, you know, just politics and just different, you know, like situations just never were able to make that work out. But I definitely love the work that they do, and it should be exciting. You know, I'm always in exciting fights, you know, and I know Conor, from what I've seen, you know, he comes for the knockout in every fight. So I know he's gonna be guns blazing with me, and yeah, just you know, I'm gonna do what I have to do to be prepared for whatever he's got coming for me.
Well, welcome back. Of course, up here joined by a number of fighters as we go through the Fight Camp schedule. July 31st, a major night for Matchroom and DAZN as we launch our first fight night and the first week of Fight Camp. And who better to headline that than one of the rising stars of world boxing right now, Adrian Granados. Probably not that worried because Conor Benn is on his 4th ice cream today. Conor, welcome. This is part of us now establishing a new 5-fight deal in your route to a world title as well. Adrian Granados, really the perfect fight for you. Mexican, tough. We've seen him against Danny Garcia. We've seen him against Adrian Broner. We've seen him with some big wins. This is exactly the kind of fights that you want.
Oh, of course, mate. Listen, I'm always up for a challenge and I'm always up for a fight. I never shy away from a fight. Ever. It's not in my makeup. It's not in my DNA. And listen, each fighter at this level is going to present some sort of struggle all the time. But at the end of the day, I'm confident in my ability, my team, to overcome any struggle that he believes he can present. I mean, people didn't believe me when I said I'd knock Vargas out in 1 round. Oh, I don't see this fight going past 6, and that's not because I'm arrogant. It's just because I'm confident in everything I've been working on, confident in my ability. You know, forget the 4 ice creams I've just eaten. I'm about to do our run after this. But I work hard, I live the life, and I'm dedicated to the craft.
Obviously, people thought that Samuel Vargas would pose a tough test for you. You went in, absolutely blitzed him. No one's done that to Samuel Vargas before. This fight, I believe, is a step up from that. It's a better fighter. It's a better technical fighter, someone with better wins on his resume, very, very tough as well. And looking to come, this is kind of like his last big opportunity at world level. How difficult is it not to get ahead of yourself after a performance like that against Vargas?
Well, listen, you can create the hype, but don't believe it. I read that somewhere. And, you know, that's so true. I don't believe the hype, never do. But you have to have confidence. Do you know what I mean? Like, I work as hard as I do to not be confident. Imagine that, working as hard as I do. And what am I about to say?
You're crushing it in the gym.
I'm crushing it in the gym, Tony.
Ask Tony.
So, yeah, you know, I'm grafting, I'm working hard. So if I'm not the only time you're not confident is when you don't work hard, is when you cut corners. And, you know, I leave no stone unturned in all of my camps, but irrelevant of who I'm fighting. So, you know, I ain't about getting ahead of myself. I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of, and I ain't going to let someone like Granados derail me.
Joe, obviously, when you looked at the numbers, we know you guys are so ahead of yourselves across stats and fighters, and this gentleman here just producing incredible numbers on Sky Sports, digitally, across social media. He's the perfect guy and kind of exactly the kind of opening event to fight camp you want. Conor Benn, big star.
Yeah, look, when you announce a game-changing deal, you need to back that up immediately with a game-changing fight, and we think Conor Benn is exactly that. We wanted, and the brief to you and Frank was to find us a big opening weekend. We've got exactly that in Ben Granados, and as you say, looking at all the digital numbers, including some of those that, you know, impersonate you, they're huge. And we're very excited about to be stepping into the UK with a fight of this quality, with a fighter of this quality, and someone who can rival you in terms of social numbers, Eddie. So we're excited about that and looking forward to getting going on July the 31st.
Conor as well sat down with your management team and lawyer to map out that new deal that you have in place on the route to a world title. Obviously, massive opportunity with DAZN now. You were part of their broadcast team recently in Las Vegas. You've boxed in America on DAZN before as well, and you've got the opportunity now to box around the world. An important move for you, not just to get the numbers that you want in your career, but also to position you as a global star.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm at the start of my career, really. I mean, what you've seen is nothing, and, you know, the career I plan on having is a long career ahead of me. So me signing with DAZN, redoing my deal with MATCHROOM, you know, they're the ones that are going to take me to the top. You guys, I mean, the platform you guys have and the platform you guys are giving me is a great opportunity. You can only thank God for these blessings and these opportunities that I've been given, so I will take them with both hands. But at the end of the day, there's so many great fighters out there. Without the team behind them, without the platform, they don't get seen, they don't get heard. And I know so many great fighters out there who just ain't got the platform. And, you know, so that plays a massive part in my career. And, you know, I'm grateful. I trust my team. I trust DAZN. I trust everyone around me. And, you know, that's what it's about, having a team that's, you know, a well-oiled machine. All I have to do is focus on the fighting. My whole career, that's all I've had to do, is focus on getting better, focus on the fighting. And you've taken it to another level now. So my ice cream's melting. You've taken it to another level now. So my career is, you know, there's no ceiling to my career, especially now behind DAZN. And obviously the main man, Eddie Hearn. Happy birthday for the other day, by the way.
Thank you, mate, and thank you for the new relationship. We believe in you. We believe you're going to be one of the biggest stars in the sport, and it's our honour to give you the platform to kick off fight camp on July the 31st in a great fight against Adrian Granados. More great fights to come shortly. For now, we pass back to Chris and Darren.
Well, Darren obviously is led by your old coach, Tony Sims, who says just how hard he works in the gym.
Yeah, he's made a joke with it before, Conor, saying, you know, he's been brought up with the silver spoon, etc., and it's hard to get out of bed when you're wearing silk pyjamas. But Tony says there isn't anyone who trains as hard as him. You know, he stays in there, he's first in, last out, gives it everything. And look, he's had a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but he's dealt with it so well. And he's getting the opportunities he deserves. And look, he's always in exciting fights. That's a great thing with Conor.
He's one of the most improved fighters in the UK for
I'd
you
say
last
so.
couple of years?
I'd say so, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt.
Another man who's much improved, Tommy McCarthy, who had a good win over Alexandre Jure a few weeks ago, immediately called out Chris Billam-Smith, got that fight made for Fight Camp as well for the European, British and Commonwealth Cruiserweight Championships. This is a really, really good fight. Billam-Smith and McCarthy.
Chris Billam-Smith, stop tweeting about me, stop talking about me.
I'm not very good at being patient. I'd love to get Tommy McCarthy fighting as soon as possible.
I don't know why everyone thinks Chris Billam-Smith's any good. Like, you've seen what he done in his last fight. He never fought anyone of any use.
He can punch a bit, but I just believe I'm a lot better than him, and I'll be looking forward to proving that.
You know, Tommy's already put pen to paper for that fight. So's Chris Billam-Smith. That fight's on. It's going to be part of a huge fight camp this summer. It's a tremendous fight. Two top cruiserweights looking to try and get a shot at the world title.
If none of the champions have balls to fight me, Chris Billam-Smith can get a boom, boom, boom and slap the head of him, no problem.
Yeah, on July 31st, I definitely believe I have the power to stop Tommy inside the distance.
We'll see you at fight camp.
Well, already a little bit of needle between the pair of them,
Yep.
because of course Tommy McCarthy, a very good friend of Carl Frampton's, and of course we know there was big factions between the McGuigans. Did you not know that? No. So of course there's been a few words exchanged already, which adds a nice bit of spice to what is already a very, very good
It's a
domestic
great fight. It's a great fight, Chris, and yeah, a bit of needle there does help. We like it when it's genuine, and yeah, both very good fighters, both really, really believe in themselves. The confidence that McCarthy's shown since winning that European title has been great. Billum Smith, I think, didn't look amazing last time out against Stuart, but they were valuable rounds. So look, it's a great fight. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, well the guys are on the stage with Eddie Hearn. Let's hand back over to them now.
Thank you, guys. This fight is an incredible fight, and week 1 for me at Fight Camp is an absolute banger. Of course, Conor Benn against Adrian Granados. We'll talk about this fight shortly. Shannon Courtney making her first defence of her world title, WBA title, on the card as well. A fantastic fight for Anthony Fowler as he takes on Roberto Garcia. Avni Yildirim faces Jack Cullen. Campbell Hatton back in action, and Sandy Ryan making a professional debut. Week 1 is an absolute cracker, but this fight for me is one of my picks of Fight Camp. Tommy McCarthy against Chris Billum Smith for the British, Commonwealth and European Championship. These are exactly the kind of fights that we want to see more of week in, week out on the cards. I'm going to go to the European champion firstly, Tommy McCarthy. Tommy, cool as a cucumber. I don't know how you're not sweating buckets in that suit, looking very smart. We're here. This is a huge fight. Everybody's talking about this fight. For me, it's like a final eliminator for a world title as well. Ready to do battle for those 3 belts on July 31st.
Yeah, you know, it's a great opportunity to get on the Fight Camp. I thought I missed it the last time. I was like, when you done it during the pandemic, I was going, I would love to have that experience. So now we've got the chance, and you know, I'm buzzing for it. I can't wait. Like you say, it's the last step before a world title, and I'm ready for it.
It's a dangerous fight for both of you, obviously, both looking to position yourself for that world title shot, but had the opportunity. Both camps very, very confident that they can win this fight, but big risk as well. We know there's 3 belts on the line, but quite unusual to see 2 domestic fighters, if you like, or domestic belt holders go at it in this position in their career. But you particularly, and your team, Pete Taylor, Mark Dunlop, very confident that you beat Chris Billum Smith on July 31st.
Yeah, 100%. You know, Chris has had a good career thus far, but he's been matched well. So he's been, you know, everything's been going good for him. So I think his team have rushed this. Like, Chris been calling for his fight for the last year and a half, and he's always been very respectful. But then before the last fight, he took to Twitter and said he's going to punch holes in me. I was like, you know, it'll be snowing in the desert before that ever happens. So here we are. And I just think it's too soon for Chris. I think he's, maybe 2 fights too soon, you know. And, you know, like I said, this is the last hurdle that we have to jump over to get to the big one. And I'm very confident. Pete's very confident. Mark's confident. And, yeah, so we're here, ready to do business.
Yeah, I've seen that. People have enjoyed that across social media. It's good to see a little bit of fire in the belly between both of you. You know, talk from you and Chris and Shane McGuigan and the camps as well. We need that, don't we? But a little bit of, you know, you want to go out there and do the business and handle Chris Billum Smith, and that edge is good.
Yeah, it gives me added drive because, you know, I've been a pro for a collector of years now, and I've never had like a domestic rivalry and never had this kind of needle. And to be honest, there was no needle. Like, Chris has always been very respectful when he's talking about me, and I don't know what happened. He must have been on a drink or something that day. Went on Twitter, started like talking madness. So, you know, he asked for it, and now he's gonna get it.
Well, Chris, the gentleman, Billum Smith, were you having a little booze that night when you started calling out Tommy McCarthy, or just business? It's nice to get a little bit of rivalry like this.
No, for sure. I mean, I'm drunk in nearly 7 years, so it definitely wasn't a drink. I just saw a few interviews. Tommy looked like he didn't want the fight, and he thought he deserved to fight for a world title, so did what I had to do and got the fight.
Obviously, Commonwealth champion, now a chance for the vacant British and to take Tommy's European title. This is absolutely the biggest moment of your career by a long way, and this is going to put you in a position to fight for the world title if you can win on July 31st.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these fights and these belts are the ones you want. I've been in a lot of domestic fights, and I absolutely enjoy them. And obviously, the 3 belts that are on the line are 3 that you want to win, and they're all steps towards that world title level. So it's just another step on the ladder for me, and it's a great fight to have it, and a great scene for it as well.
Yeah, you boxed here last time at Fight Camp. This year, of course, with crowds as well. I saw the promo video earlier where you talked about you believe you win this fight inside the distance. Is that the way you feel this fight's going, looking for a knockout victory on July 31st?
Yeah, I mean, we always go in with a game plan, and if you can get someone out there early, then it go into points then for sure. And I believe that's what we'll take. I respect Tommy with his boxing ability. I think he's a very good fighter, but I believe I get to him, break him down, and stop him in the mid to late rounds.
Not a chance.
Same for you. Is this a knockout victory for Tommy?
Listen, I'm coming in here to do damage with Chris because, like I said, he's been respectful for the last year, and then next thing, he's just like, there's no need for it. This is the gentleman's sport, and so now I'm getting ready to really let them go.
Well, we look forward to that. Just over 6 weeks to go this weekend. 6 weeks to go this weekend before a big fight. The British Commonwealth European Cruiserweight Championship gets the chance to put it all to rest. Chris Billam-Smith against Tommy McCarthy. We look forward to this one, and we're going to have a head-to-head down here, gentlemen.
So as you heard, 6 weeks from today that these two will do battle. As chief support for week 1 of Fight Camp, Tommy McCarthy, the left of your screen, Chris Billam-Smith on the right. And Darren, we talked about Tommy McCarthy, probably the more improved of the two of them. Looked a different animal last time out against Alexandre Jure. Billam-Smith has had better performances than he showed against Vasyl Dutsar. But you'd probably say on balance the fans may edge him as the favourite, or do you think differently?
Well, I mean, it's a real pick-em, Chris. It really is. You know, it's what you like. Obviously, the power lies with Chris Billam-Smith, but I think that the better boxing, probably Tommy McCarthy. Honestly, it's a real pick-em. Currently, as we stand here, I'm probably sitting on the fence.
Yeah, good. I thought you were going to give me some sort of revelatory prediction there. I'm currently not sure, Chris. Thanks,
Splinters.
That's what we're paying for. Expert analysis from Darren Barker. Other few fights on the card, and we'll hear from them up on the stage in a few moments' time. Anthony Fowler, who, as we heard, is up against Roberto Garcia. Fowler come on again. He's improved sort of fight by fight and looked good under new trainer Shane McGuigan, of course, stablemate of Chris Billam-Smith and Lawrence Okoli too. So it's showing signs that now Fowler can sort of start to mix it at a high level.
Look, the one thing with Anthony was just about learning the trade. You know, he's got that great amateur pedigree, but I guess at times it hasn't looked as good as many feel he's better than he showed. And look, I think there's a lot of self-belief with Anthony Fowler. He trains his socks off. He's always in entertaining fights, and looking forward to seeing him out again. He's not shy of mixing leather, is he?
He's not. Someone else that isn't is Shannon Courtney. What a fight that was against Ebony Bridges a couple of months ago for her to secure the WBA World Bantamweight title. She will be back in action, as I say. We thought it was going to be against Rachel Bull, which would have been a fabulous rematch, but I think she's just still struggling like that long COVID, and as Eddie said, there a back injury. And Rachel, if you're watching, we wish you well, and we're looking forward to your return, hopefully fit and healthy in the future. Also on that card too, who have we got?
The Hatton on there?
Yes, Campbell Hatton is on there. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, obviously had his debut in Gibraltar, followed up with a win about 3 weeks ago. Looked more relaxed in the second run, didn't he?
I mean, imagine the nerves of this young lad. You know, not many amateur fights at all. And he has the pressure of having a legend as a dad. I mean, his debut out in Gibraltar, I mean, Sky box office. It was
like the build-up to a world title
fight. It was just huge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, now he joins MATCHROOM on DAZN. He's a work in progress. He will need to be matched carefully. But I've said this from day dot. The journey is going to be fantastic. And once we get full capacity back at venues, can you imagine in Manchester, it's going to be booming.
Of course, the mantra for Fight Camp is no easy fights, but you do have to take that with a slight pinch of salt when you've got prospects like Campbell Hatton. Otherwise, we'll have Campbell Hatton against Richard Comey in his third fight. Nobody needs or wants that at this stage of his career. Sandy Ryan will make her debut. Former GB Boxer World Championship silver medalist, double European bronze medalist, and Commonwealth Games gold medalist as well. She is on the stage with all of the other fighters that we just mentioned. Let's hand over and hear from some of them now.
Thank you, gents, and we are delighted to be. We are delighted. That's okay. One more chance you got. We are delighted to be joined by the rest of the combatants for July 31st, minus Jack Cullen, who is deep in camp ahead of his huge fight with Abney Yildirim on July 31st. Delighted to be joined by Campbell Hatton, Anthony Fowler, Shannon Courtenay, and of course Sandy Ryan making her professional debut on the card on July 31st. Campbell, we're going to be starting with you. You've seen it all, mate, really, haven't you? You've been to Gibraltar, you know, you boxed in Manchester already, now you're boxing at Fight Camp. Good to be here today to take it all in and ready for fight number 3 on July 31st.
Yeah, definitely. It's, as soon as I got here, it's surreal. I remember watching the first Fight Camp, and that was around the time where we decided it was the time to turn pro, and it was mad. So dead excited to be on the second one.
Second time out in your performance, much better, much calmer. Gibraltar was all a bit crazy all round, really. You learned a lot from that experience in Gibraltar as well. Much more measured performance, second time out, and looking to improve on that here for fight number 3.
Yeah, definitely. It was just so like, night and day compared to my first fight, where all I was doing for the fight week and my second time round was focusing on the fight. I didn't have half as much media work to do, and my nerves were just, it was so much better, and I think it did show in my performance. And going forward, I think each time I'll be less nervous again this time round, and just each time get a little bit better and improve with each fight.
Look forward to seeing you in action on July 31st. Sandy, big occasion for a professional debut. We know as an amateur you boxed all around the world for Team GB, but this is a great way to kick off your pro journey on July 31st.
Yeah, it's like, I'm so excited to be kicking it off on such a big stage. Obviously I've been all over the world, but to start my pro debut on such a big stage like this, I'm so excited.
Sat next to another female world champion. I know you've got lofty ambitions, you and your team at STN, you know, looking to move very quickly in the pro ranks, looking for a strong opponent for your pro debut as well. But you're seeing a lot of these other females that you know very well picking up world titles, and that's a quick ambition of yours to turn into a reality.
Yeah, definitely. You probably already know I don't want a walkover on my pro debut. We've already tried to get a good opponent. So yeah, I want to be moving fast, and it's good to be around world champions. Yeah.
Look forward to your journey beginning here at Fight Camp. Anthony Fowler, I said to you earlier, you have turned into one of the toughest people to match in our stable. They're seeing the improvements you're making under Shane McGuigan. You were talking about your jab earlier, your power as well. And you know, I was hoping that with that one defeat on your resume, these people will be jumping at the chances. Roberto Garcia has jumped at the chance. We feel like it's the perfect opponent for you to give you rounds. He's been in with some tremendous world-class fighters. He's very tough, very durable. He went the full distance with Liam Smith just over a year ago. He went the distance with Martin Murray as well a couple of years ago as well. This guy should give you the rounds that you need before you really dive in to the deep end later this year.
Exactly, yeah. He's never been stopped. He's never been stopped, and he's very experienced. He's a Mexican, as we've seen recently. They're all game ads, and I need hard competitive rounds. I'm getting it all in the gym, but it's different under the lights, and all I need in my career now before I step on is a hard 10-round fight where someone's putting it on me instead of me just putting it on everyone else.
Feel that you're really approaching the prime of your career. I know you believe you're going to get even better with Shane as the weeks and months turn on, but this really is a good fight. And some of the names we're mentioning towards the end of the year, of course, we know you want that Ted Cheeseman fight. There's also a big rematch with Scott Fitzgerald. We've talked about even a big domestic fight with Liam Smith as well. It's a tremendous fight. You're ready. You know, once you get through Roberto Garcia on July 31st, you're ready to jump into all those names.
Yeah, this fight's the perfect springboard to them big domestic fights. I was hoping for this fight, the likes of Cheeseman, Egerton, Metcalf, but obviously it hasn't happened. So this fight, after that, I'm ready to go. It's a good 10-round fight. I've got to win as well. It's the main thing, and I hope it goes to plan.
Shannon, the first defence of your WBA world title, you've hardly taken that off your shoulder since you won it so brilliantly against Ebony Bridges behind closed doors. Fight Camp, mixed feelings for you, of course. You know, you suffered defeat here for the first time in a fight you felt you should have won against Rachel Ball. We know that she's not going to be ready to face you on July 31st. You'll have an opponent announced in the next 48 hours for your maiden defence. But I know you wanted to put that wrong right, but you're ready to move on
fight some world-class fighters and look for unification fights at the end of the year?
Yeah, I'm gutted. Obviously, I wanted the rematch here especially. We found out yesterday, yet again, she's pulled out. So it is what it is. I kind of had suspicions that she wouldn't fight me and so close again. But whoever you put in front of me, I'm willing to fight, whether it's a tougher fight than her, so be it, because I want to unify by the end of the year if I can, if not early next year. So I'm ready for some tough nights ahead, but some exciting nights ahead. And I'm buzzing to be on the first DAZN show.
Obviously a tremendous fight last time out against Ebony Bridges. You know, it was one of the fights of the year. It was a brutal fight, back and forward. Your confidence now really going to the next level. Great training team. See you putting the work in. You were talking earlier, you're around your weight already for your first defence on July 31st. Everything falling into place now and looking to become a real star of women's boxing.
I just want to keep up with the momentum. You know, some people win a world title and they're happy with that. I'm just so uncontent now. I want more. I want more than just one belt. I went back into camp earlier than I was meant to. I won the world title on the Saturday. I was out training on the Monday. I'm just hungry for more success now, and nothing's going to stop me.
Well, we look forward to your first defence here at Fight Camp. Week 1, an absolute cracker. Conor Benn against Adrian Granados. Chris Billam-Smith against Tommy McCarthy for the British Commonwealth and European Cruiserweight Championship. Avni Yildirim against Jack Cullen. The return of Campbell Hatton. Anthony Fowler against Roberto Garcia. The pro debut of Sandy Ryan. And Shannon Courtenay, first defence of her WBA Bantamweight Championship. What a week to kick us off live on DAZN. Back to Chris and Darren.
Thanks, Eddie. Well, I was just going to run through the card, but you've done it for me now.
Done your job.
That's a good first week of action, isn't it?
Yeah, solid. Absolutely solid. There's so much to look forward to there. I can't wait for the first bell. Just talking about the event itself, it was so good last time, even though there wasn't spectators. I'm just so curious to hear the atmosphere from the 300 plus that's going to be here, because it was that good last time. So with fans, this is going to be epic.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And of course, for us to be able to sit ringside and take those in too, I think is going to be something else to behold, isn't it? Yeah, roughly 300 we think, perhaps a few more, as you said, with the staff and everybody that will be here as well. And of course we'll keep you updated across our social media once we get some of the opponents in there. Of course there are a couple of TBCs for Sandy Campbell and of course Shannon Courtenay as well. And that concludes Fight Camp Week 1, and then we move on to Week 2. Saturday the 7th of August, Kid Galahad and Jazz Dickens will contest the IBF Featherweight World title. Of course, Josh Warrington unceremoniously stripped of that before that shocking defeat to Mauricio Lara. Difficult for him, and he will, we think, be booking a return fight against Lara in September. Meanwhile, the two, number 1 and 2 contender, Galahad and Dickens, on different paths. Galahad with that close but messy scrap with Josh Warrington a couple of years ago, and Jazz Dickens in the form of his life after winning the featherweight contract for MTK. Yeah,
I was lucky enough to catch a few moments with them earlier on today, and they're both, well, first and foremost, buzzing to be on the show, but so extremely confident that they're going to take that title home. It's huge. What's on the line is absolutely massive. You know, Kid Galahad truly believes he won that fight against Josh Warrington. He believes he should be the champion now. It's a brilliant fight. It is. Jazz Dickens has found some real form later on in his career. It's been fantastic. So, yeah, can't wait.
So, August the 7th, Saturday, the vacant IBF Featherweight World title will be contested in our main event. Kid Galahad versus Jazz Dickens.
August the 7th, and the new. I'm not one of these guys who he's boxing his last 4 or 5 fights. I'm a different kettle of fish.
When I lost to Galahad years ago, I knew that this day would come, call someone to Galahad fight.
Whatever he does, I can do better. I've got to go in there and not just beat him, I've got to go in there and do a number on him.
He can waste his energy talking garbage, but it's a fight, you know what I mean?
We ain't no friends in there, mate. He's going to get seriously hurt.
Sheffield. Liverpool. I'm his best win, you know. Now he realises he's not invincible.
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
This is our city, and I'm bringing that belt back home.
And the new.
At points made him look quite one-dimensional, didn't he?
Yeah, I questioned his boxing know-how on the back foot.
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah, like, it was obvious that he could punch. We see that in his previous fights, but I just wasn't sure when he had someone like Charlton walking him forward, how would he cope with that? How would he manage the space? And he proved that he could do it really well. Great footwork, good jab, good speed, and he got the job done in fantastic fashion.
We'll go through some of the other fights that will feature on week 2's card here at Fight Camp HQ in August. But right now, Kid Galahad and Jazza Dickens both on the stage with Eddie Hearn. Let's hand over to hear from our main eventers for week 2.
Here we go. The IBF Featherweight World Championship. Sheffield against Liverpool. There is nothing quite like a domestic rivalry, a domestic World Championship fight between two great fighters looking to become world champion. August the 7th, live at Fight Camp, week 2, live on DAZN all around the world. This is one of my favourite fights of Fight Camp for sure. Two great fighters, two contrasting styles in and out of the ring. You got Jazza Dickens sitting here in a whistle looking $1 million, and you got Kid Galahad, hasn't put his shirt on since he walked in here, looking very relaxed. Before we talk about this great fight, Joe Markowski, week 2, fantastic for a domestic world championship fight, a cracker. Great way to keep the ball rolling in week 2 of Fight Camp.
Yeah, exactly. The value keeps on coming for us. Obviously, very, very happy to be extending our special introductory price point of £1.99, €1.99 over in Ireland. The value the fans are getting with this fight, obviously second week of Fight Camp, as you say, huge domestic rivalry.
66p a week, is that right? I mean, are you sure about that?
We are sure about that.
Have you been drinking?
No, I haven't been drinking, not since the football yesterday. But yeah, great second week. Obviously, value keeps coming, and we're, as you say, big domestic rivalry, domestic world championship fight, and a brilliant rematch. So we're delighted to serve it up.
Let me just stop you. This is the fight of the Fight Camp. Trust me, this is the fight.
It's been a long time coming for you, Barry, hasn't it? You know, the
100%.
Josh Warrington situation, you were patient, the fight got ordered, we tried to put it on May the 8th, the world is closing down, couldn't get the visas, but in a good way, on home soil, if you like, on this huge stage, fans will be here, the world will be watching, your chance to become world champion on August the 7th.
100%. Listen, whatever happened in the past has happened, and you know, August the 7th, me and Jazza, we're going to leave. We're going to start where we left off from the last fight. And listen, the first fight was an unbelievable fight. And this second one, you know, I believe is going to be even better.
That first fight was one of the fights of the year last time between 100%. You two. It was, at the time, a fight for the British. You know, we're talking about British level. Now we're at world level as well. How have you two progressed since then? I know you've hardly left the gym since that night, but Jazza's on an incredible run as well. They
100%.
Really believe they can beat you here.
Listen, I know Jazza personally, and you know, he lives a life just like me. I just believe, you know, I'm just a bit better than Jazza in every department. It's not personal or anything like that. When we get in that ring, me and him, we're not gonna be, you know, how we are now. He's gonna try and take my head off, and I'm gonna take his head off. And you know, and I just believe I'm better than him in every department. I just believe that.
Obviously, he has been more active than you. You had a tremendous victory for the final eliminator as well. You've literally not left the gym since that fight. You haven't fought now. By the time this comes around, it will be, I believe, like a year and 3 or 4 months. But you literally haven't left the gym since that last fight.
Listen, it's just how it goes, and I'm in the gym. I keep on top of everything, training hard, and that's all that matters, you know. The 16 months that I've been out, if I was out partying, drinking up to no good, then it'd affect me inside the ring. But listen, I was in the gym. I've been training hard, doing what I got to do. And when we get in that ring, 7th of August, you know, I'm going to be IBF champion of the world.
And obviously a big moment for DAZN, the second week of our partnership. But there is nothing quite like two Brits going for a world title. And let's be honest, you can talk about this, and the pressure is on here, because victory for one of you guys to become world champion will change your life forever. The opportunities of massive unification fights, it's such a great division as well to be in, but this is absolutely everything for both of you.
100%. Listen, I'm not thinking past this fight, because I know I've sparred Jazza for my last fight and the fights before that. Every southpaw I've ever fought, I've actually sparred Jazza Dickens, so we've done over, you know, 50, 60 rounds, and I know what he's like, I know he lives the life, and, you know, I'm going to be more than ready. 7th of August, I'm more than ready.
Jazza, massive.
9 pence a day, Eddie. The zone value, 9 pence a day.
9 pence a day. Have you been sitting there working it out? I'll tell you what, that was very impressive, very impressive. Listen, it's a huge night for DAZN. It's the first domestic world championship fight. I know it's a huge night for you and your team, and Tony Bellew down there, and obviously Georgie Vaughan as well. Just massive, massive. Your chance, your time to become world champion. Long time coming, looking to make it count August 7th.
Yes, it's been 8 years. 8 years since we had the first fight. It's been. I always knew this fight would come again. You know, I even told Barry that this fight would come again. Yeah, I've been waiting a long time. I've had losses along the way. I've had to build myself back up. There's nothing harder than build myself back up after a loss. I've done it 3 times, and that's why I'm in this position right now. So yeah, I've worked hard to be here. You can't take all the credit yourself, though. I'm very lucky to be here. I'm lucky to have this opportunity. I'm lucky to have the team around me, MTK, Tony Bellew, yourself, and DAZN. So all the people, my family support me, everyone who's got to come and watch. So yeah, I'm very, very lucky also.
Obviously, with the uncertainty in terms of crowd numbers moving forward, this would have sold out the Echo Arena or even Sheffield Arena as well. About 500 people roughly here, but it's going to be a great atmosphere. But you've got a real chance as well to become a major star in the city. You know, you've got obviously Tony Bellew down there, he's done now. Callum Smith lost his world title, but moving up to light heavyweight, and Liam Smith still going. But kind of the city crying out, Anthony Fowler coming strong as well. But to crown a new world champion would be massive for the city of Liverpool.
Yes, I think boxing is a conveyor belt, and because we're always trying to fill that void. Who was the last star? Who was the last star? To be in a position where I can step into them shoes, it's a blessing, you know. And I'm going to take it with both hands. I'm very, very lucky to be in that position.
Obviously, Kid Galahad, tricky fighter, you know, awkward style as well. Do you have to take the fight to him on August the 7th as well? You've shared a ring before. You've shared many. You may have shared a room as well, but you know, I'm not aware of that. But you know, I know you've shared a ring before. Many rounds of sparring as well. You know the style inside out. It's a tricky style, but one you've got to overcome in 36 minutes.
Yeah, well, I think the last fight, the experience was with him, definitely. I just be myself. Be myself is all I can be anyway. You know what I mean? So I might as well just be myself to the best of my ability. You know, like you say, there's going to be the crowd here and stuff like that. At least we'll get more than poor Sam Eggert and Cheeseman last year. What a fight! Big shoes to fill, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Well, you're on a tremendous run, both of you. Wish you the best of luck. One of you will be crowned IBF World Champion on August the 7th. One of my favourite fights of Fight Camp, Sheffield against Liverpool for the World Championship right here at the Matchroom HQ, live on DAZN. Gentlemen, whoever heads head down here, please.
Yeah, Darren, I think it's nice to see not only a British domestic world title fight, but 2 guys who have really earned their place. It wasn't the cleanest fight against Josh Warrington, but Kid Galahad pushed him very, very close indeed. Close enough, in fact, for a lot of people to think that he deserved the rerun. Well, he has got his shot at the vacant. And after Jazz Dickens' performance in the Golden Contract, there's some good operators there, Lee Wood, Ryan Walsh, and he was excellent. He really has earned his shot as well.
He has indeed, and look, he's suffered his setbacks. The one against Kid Galahad, you know, many years ago, and he's suffered some more on the way, and he really has progressed and improved as a fighter, and that's evident in his demeanour there. His confidence is sky high. Kid Galahad as well. He believes he should be sat there world champion. He believes he beat Josh Warrington. There's so much in this fight, so many questions, there's so many. I don't know. I just think it's a brilliant fight. I just look at it stylistically, and I don't think it would be anything like the Josh Warrington performance from Kid Galahad. I think he's really going to have to put a foot on the gas and try and look good. On the flip side, I think that plays in Jazz Dickens' hand. He's a very good boxer. Likes to come forward. He has an awkward sort of style. It's a great fight, Chris.
Also on that card, Alan Babbage, the return of him against Mark Bennett. Way too much to Damien Chambers at the weekend, and Chambers admitted as much on social media after the fight. He did all he could, but really, I think you're going to have to start stepping Babbage up at some point, because he's not really being tested.
No, and look, he'll get near with anyone. He literally will. I've just seen him walking around, and he just wants to fight anybody. He's so exciting. He's so destructive, and I spoke to him. I said, look, what is the plan? Is the plan to keep fighting how you are? And he goes, if I keep winning like that, and I'm winning rounds, and I'm knocking people out there, I'm not going to change. People enjoy it. The fans enjoy it. It's putting bums on seats. He's one to watch, but I don't know if many know this, he's actually represented Croatia in the amateurs. He can fight. So there's more to see from Alan Babic, that's for sure.
We mentioned Florian Marcoux in action as well. Big Johnny Fisher is on the bill too in his third outing against Josh Sandlin. Marcoux and Fisher both on the stage with Eddie Hearn. Let's hand over and hear from both of those guys now.
Well, as we continue to top up the tan here at Matchroom HQ, it is roasting up here, and delighted to be joined by three great fighters that will be part of a stacked week 2, of course headlined by Kid Galahad against Jazza Dickens for the IBF World Featherweight title. Also on that card, Ellie Scotney will return, and we're also delighted to welcome back Ebony Bridges, who will be fighting Beck Connolly on the card as well. Two great female talents looking to progress and move on to a shot at the world title. Here to talk about the three main men up here, Johnny Fisher firstly. Johnny, if we had 2,000 people in here or 3,000 people, you'd bring them all from Romford. You are going to get some limited tickets, but a massive step up for you against Josh Sandland. I know I spoke to Sam Jones about it. They put it to you and Mark Tibbs, and straight away you want to move quickly. That was a good fight for you on August the 7th.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very grateful to have a great team around me with Sam Jones and Mark Tibbs. And Mark Tibbs with the game plan he'll put forward. Yes, it's a step up for me, but this is why we're in boxing. We want to be in big nights, and it's a great event, fight camp. And as you said, if this is any normal time, I'd bring a lot of my supporters from Romford and Essex. But I'm ready to put on a show on the 7th of August.
2 fights so far against, you know, the kind of opposition you'd expect a young, relatively inexperienced amateur fighter who's turned pro to be facing. But this is a little bit different. It's someone with a winning record, someone that will look to come and make a name for himself, but should bring out the best of you. I know you've been working hard with Mark Tibbs.
Yeah, definitely. I find when someone comes forward and tries to have a fight back as well, that's going to bring the best out of me. And the challenge for me, Mark Tibbs and the team, is to refine them skills that I've got, hold that aggression and use it in a controlled manner. And that's what we're going to be working on, building up to the fight.
I believe that you said to Sam Jones and S-Jam when this opponent was put to you that I should be beating fighters like that. If I believe I'm going to go on and become a force in the sport of boxing, I should be taking people like Josh Sandlin out.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, I've got massive respect for everyone I fight, and Josh Sandlin will be a great test. But if I want to move on and move up in the world of boxing, you want to be an English or British champion, a European, and maybe even a world champion. These are the sort of tests at this stage of your career. They're going to progress you at them stages, and that's what you need. That's investment in the bank for when you get to them higher echelons of the sport.
Well, we look forward to seeing you back in action from one heavyweight to another, or maybe a cruiserweight or a bridgerweight. We're going for all the world championships. Of course, fresh off a fantastic knockout victory in Newcastle at the weekend. Back here, Alan, you boxed on the first fight camp. August the 7th, you're back. A good fight for you. A good fight against Mark Bennett. It's 7-0 against 7-1. Another British heavyweight looking to take defeat from the Savage or Alan, whoever you are today. But great to see you back after a great win in Newcastle at the weekend.
Thank you, Eddie Hearn. Thank you for the opportunity again. You know, and this is the place where it all started. You know, the Savage was born exactly somewhere here. So I really have a lot of respect for this place, and energy is crazy. You know, and Newcastle, I thank you again. You know, you made my first fight with fans one to remember. I'm gonna cherish that memory for the rest of my life. And I'm really just emotional, overflowing with emotions. You know, and just being great.
Obviously, that was a big win for you at the weekend. Coming back particularly, it was a big win because you were coming back from your shoulder operation after you were really flying. You know, wins here, and then Tom Little as well, and Niall Kennedy. You went through them, but you had to have that rest. Shoulder now feeling good. Obviously, it looked like you were letting them fly in Newcastle. No problems ahead of August 7th here.
Yeah, Chambers was a warrior. Chambers was a warrior. All respect to him. He tested my shoulder in any way possible because I threw it with 200% tenacity, you know, and I didn't shave my shoulder. It's better than before now. So really, everybody who keep asking me about my shoulder, thank you, everybody. It's great. My shoulder is great. It's like granite. It's harder than granite, and I'm ready to go on again. That's why I'm here.
Mark Bennett this time around, only one defeat, which was in a boxer series, which is a shorter format series event. Looking to come and defeat the Savage. All these guys keep coming. They keep saying, watching you on TV, saying, he's beatable. I'm the one to do it. No one's managed to do it yet. Is Mark Bennett the guy to cause you trouble?
Yeah, you're trying to bring the Savage out. Yeah, I feel him, you know, and I don't like when they talk all the same stuff. I have 7 knockouts, all in 3 rounds. Give me some respect, you know. That Bennett guy, I don't even know who he is. He's gonna fall. He's gonna be defeated, you know. He's just gonna fall in first round. He's gonna be startled in the first, gonna die in the second, and that's how I roll, you know. And this guy just keep asking, just keep saying the same stuff. boring already. It's boring. It just brings out the savage. I'm gonna hurt him even more. So it would be better for him to shut up, and just come to fight.
Okay, well, before the savage comes out, we're going to move on. We look forward to seeing you on August.
Please do.
August the 7th. Florian Marku, another savage, part of the SJAN team with Sam Jones. This fight is a tremendous, tremendous fight. Maxime Prodan, one of our stars in Matchroom Boxing Italy, undefeated, 19-0, IBF international champion. Massive step up for you. You looked at this fight, you looked at the opportunity. It'll give you a world ranking yourself. This is going to be a tremendous battle here on August the 7th.
Yes, first of all, thank you for the opportunity. This is the fight that I want. I'm really happy that the fight will be for the IBF international belt. About the opponent, many say that maybe it's too soon for me. I know my abilities. I think I am level above Maxim, and better the fighter, better I will perform, and I'm gonna show that in the 7th of August. I think I'm much better than what Maxim is, and I think I will stop him very, very early in the fight.
That would be a massive statement. Great win out for you last time against Ryland Chan, but this is a whole nother level of opponent. We're going to find out a lot about you here, because if you can defeat Maxime Prodan, you're going to be going on to some major fights.
Yes, exactly, and that's what I want. As you know better than everyone, I don't say no to fights. I have say also back then to Chris Congo, yes, that he say no, we don't want to fight. To Ryland, that they didn't want. And of course to Maxim, now it's time to show that I am more than ready than this kind of fights.
One of the biggest ticket sellers in the country, in the UK, but we do have plans to go to Albania as well, which is going to be a special, special night, a crazy night. You will have a very few select number of tickets here. If you could make sure that you don't give your postcode out on August the 7th, we'd really appreciate it. But some fans here, it'd be great to see people back, won't it, watching live boxing?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm really happy, as I heard that you will have somewhere to 400 people in the end. It's amazing, this kind of place, the view here is amazing. And with the crowds here, it will be beautiful. I'm really happy.
Well, we look forward to seeing you back in action in what is a massive fight for your career, the IBF international title. That is week 2. Galahad against Dickens for the IBF featherweight championship. Also, Fabio Wardley in action on week 2 in a big heavyweight fight. Ellie Scottney as well returning to action. Ebony Bridges as well against Beck Connolly. The Romford Bull, Johnny Fisher. Florian Marku against Maxime Prodan. And Alan the Savage Babbage against Mark Kennedy. Week 2, don't miss it. Back to you guys.
Cheers, Eddie. Well, that is the line of week 2, August the 7th. Do you know what? If we get anything like this sort of weather, one, we're going to be extremely burnt, but two, it's going to be fantastic in the evening when it gets to those fights.
Oh, we'll do it. I'm curious how it would fill in there for the fighters. There was a couple of days on the original
Jordan
one.
Gill and Reece Bellotti, I remember one of the corners bathed in sunlight and actually could have made the vision quite difficult.
Well, I had to wear my suit jacket because I'd sweat right through my shirt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's so many things to take into account. I never got to fight outdoors. I'm gutted.
I think it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it?
It would be brilliant, mate.
So that is week 2. Week 3, headlined by Joshua Buatsi, WBA International Light Heavyweight Champion, a man who many people have been asking to step up for a long time. He's had a stop-start last 12 to 18 months, really through no fault of his own. Had a bit of injuries towards the back end of 2019. Then, of course, the pandemic. He had a couple of opponents pull out on him as well. But really, I think looking to reaffirm his status as one of, not the top prospects in this country anymore, but one of the top contenders.
Absolutely. Sorry, I missed the beginning. Buatsi.
Joshua Buatsi.
Buatsi, yeah, sorry, I missed the beginning bit there. Honestly, I'm trying to deal with his son.
Yeah,
I mean, look, there's no doubt he's one of the most talented fighters out there. Kalik was a difficult fight for him. You know, there's a lot of movement. And I remember not blowing my own trumpet, but I watched Kalik and the build-up, and I thought, do you know what? He's a nightmare for anyone. He's game, he could move, and he proved he was a good fighter against
Alan Babbage told us how good he was.
Exactly.
He said, I've had 3 amateur fights and lost all of them.
Exactly. So he can weather a storm. He can fight all sorts. So looking back now, I think that was a good win for Buatsi. He's a very good fighter. Last time out, I mean, that was brutal. It was brutal against the Santos. It was an epic finish.
Scary knockout. Actually,
it was a scary knockout, and we got to see, how devastating he can be. This is a great fight. Bolotniks is on a run of form, won the golden contract. Looked devastating himself with knockouts over Michelle,
Steve Ward as well. And he battered Jose Burton for 10 rounds.
This is one of those. it's going to be fireworks straight off. I'm sure of it.
So that is the headliner for week 3. Savannah Marshall will be featuring on that card as well, defending her WBO World Middleweight title. We'll get an update on her opponent in the weeks to come. Raymond Ford against Reece Bellotti, Mark McKinson and Zemislav Ranowski too, and Felix Cash, Cash Farouk and Tash Jonas will all be in action ahead of this man who headlines week 3.
I think last summer it was watching the other fighters get on, and I thought, nah, it would be nice to box outside, to be part of an event such as you guys put together. So I'm looking forward to it, man. And to be headlining August the 14th, good opportunity. As you can see, I'm out here in camp already, so I'm looking forward to it, man. I've had 2 fights with no crowd, so I'm definitely looking forward to this one, where there's going to be an audience, a crowd. Just the occasion, man. People there watching, anticipating. So I'm looking forward to that. It's been very different boxing without the audience and that, but every fighter will tell you hand on heart that they've missed it, and even the fans as well. I'm sure it's been great watching it from their homes and hearing the corner instructions and everything. But it's a whole different atmosphere when you're there. So I'm sure they'll be looking forward to it as well. So I haven't seen much of him. I'll tell you what, I went to one of the tournaments that he boxed at. I think it was Stephen Wood. I think it was who he boxed. Took him out in the first round. Unless I'm thinking of the wrong fighter, but I think that's him anyways. And it was a round, looked good. Haven't been able to read much into it in terms of what he fights like and what he does, but I'm sure as the weeks go on, I'll have a better idea. But as always, the goal is to win. I'll tell you guys that all the time. I'll prepare myself. I know that I'm taller than him, so obviously he's going to take the approach of being a pressure fighter. Doesn't mean that I'm going to necessarily be the boxer. I could come out and be the boxer. I could come out and be the aggressor. So it's got the ingredients for a good fight, and I say that because I know he's doing contract thing. He stopped a few people while winning it. And I've got a few stoppages on my record as well. So the fans are in for a treat. When he won it, I received actually a few tweets. I feel like, we're actually in this guy will be a good fight. So it's happening now. So people are getting what they want to see, and I'm looking forward to it as well. No, definitely. He's a good fighter. He's got a good reputation. So yeah, it'll be a good test. He's looking to move on as well and to crack on. So we're both, I don't know if I'll say we're both at similar stages, but yeah, it will be good, definitely.
Yeah, I know that from speaking to him, he doesn't want to assume he's got forever with Virgil Hunter, who's 76 years of age now, and I can't imagine holding pads for Boaz is much fun at any age, let alone when you're nearly 80. But he is intent on soaking up every bit of advice and knowledge from the philosophy that Virgil Hunter has built over the years. But I think the main thing, Darren, you'll know this, that the sparring stateside is going to be very different to what it is here. That's the thing that could be the game changer for him.
I think it'd be huge for him. It will take him to another level. Some of the spars out there are real wars. They really come to fight. They treat it as contests. So yeah, I think it was obvious that Boatsy needed to shake things up a little bit. Just was potentially getting a bit stale, and we've seen he's taken everything Virgil has to offer on board. And yeah, it's only going to make him a better fighter, Chris.
Well, he's going to need to be a better fighter because Ricards Bolotnik's a man on form, as you heard. The winner of the light heavyweight NTK Golden Contract Latvia's own Ricards Bolotniks will be in the opposite corner for the final fight of Fight Camp Week 3. Let's hear from him now.
I can tell only one thing. Already in this year, I have canceled 3 fights. And I'm happy to have a fight. I want a fighting. Want to go in the ring. I want to take this adrenaline. All these kind of things, but of course, I'm so happy when I go in UK. I have a lot of people who text me from UK. Thank you very much, everyone. Text me and waiting me in there in London, UK. So, and of course, I'm so happy to get the fight with that big guy, Joshua Buatsi, with that star. Yeah, he's a tough. He's a hard fighter, and I'm so happy to make it. On this moment, of course, he's one of the hardest fight. He's good. strong hands. Yeah, he's clever. I saw his fights. I saw he's a gentleman. I like that. He don't do some dirty things what I don't like. Yeah, but no, well, like how I see. Yeah, the last fight, but he don't do like dirty things. He's a gentleman. He likes to fight. He loves to fight. Well, my motivation is my family. My family, my country, my wife, my mother. It's I don't know. It's everything about what I'm thinking when I sit down in a dressing room before the fight. I think about them. Yeah, of course, of course. It will be the great evening for everyone, for me, for Boazzi, for coaches, for everyone, for all people, for UK people, for Latvians people. Like it's our work, it's our job. So we have to go and give, I don't know, massive bomb, like explosions. So good night to make happy all the people. I'll see you 14th of August, and I'm sure this fight will be great.
Well, thank you so much for staying with us for this live stream on DAZN and across Matchroom Boxing socials as well as we move into week 3. August the 14th here at Matchroom HQ for Fight Camp live on DAZN. Another fight that I cannot wait for. Joshua Boazzi against Ricard Bolotniks in the light heavyweight division, what will surely be a final eliminator for the world title. Joshua Boazzi, in my opinion, one of the brightest stars in world boxing. You've been asking for him to step up. There may not be many light heavyweights in better form at the moment outside of the world champions than Ricard Bolotniks, obviously winning the MTK Golden Contract recently on Sky Sports in tremendous form. This is a tremendous clash of styles, a great fight for Joshua Boazzi, who is currently in San Francisco with Virgil Hunter in camp getting ready for the fight of his career so far. 2 other people on this card that are not with us today. Felix Cash, the British and Commonwealth champion who is coming off a stunning victory, and also Kash Farouk, who is in a big fight on this card as well. And 3 fighters that are here that will take part in the final week of Fight Camp. Of course, Michael McKinson, the WBO Global Champion, Hopi Price, and also Natasha Jonas, who you remember from a Fight of the Year contender here against Terry Harper last year. Hopi, we'll start with you. You boxed here last Fight Camp as well. It's the second outing for you, this time with fans. Looking to have a big step up here and move forward and hopefully get out very quickly for our planned September 4th show in Leeds as well.
Definitely. Like you said, I boxed there on the first Fight Camp, so don't seem like 2 minutes ago, to be fair. Time's flying, but I've been in the gym ever since then, training hard, and I'm looking forward to August 14th. I've been raring to go, so it can't come soon enough.
You had what was perceived to be a big step up here against Johnny Phillips. You won every round. You won that comfortably as well. And I know you're very young, and at first Dave Caldwell was talking about moving quite slowly with you, but seems to be a little bit more urgency from Dave to move quicker now and sort of work towards domestic championships this year.
Yeah, like you say, obviously I'm just taking it step by step, but we are looking to move a bit faster than was planned. So obviously box here in a Fight Camp, and then maybe a big one for a domestic title in September back in my hometown of Leeds.
We look forward to your second appearance at Fight Camp. Michael McKinson, welcome. Welcome to the Matchroom team. Welcome to the DAZN team as well. Big breakout victory for you against Chris Congo on the Dillian White Alexander Povetkin card. We see you now well up there with a WBO, looking banging on the door of the mandatory shot for the 147-pound championship. You've got a great fight against Poland's Ranowski, coming off a big win himself. You're right on the door now, ready to move forward and look to try and force your way into a shot at the 147 piece.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here, you know. I went out in Gibraltar and earned my spot here. I deserve to be here. I'm just really excited to showcase my skills on such a great event like this. You know, I think I'm ranked 4th by the WBO, so it's not too far away, you know. So I know my management team, MTK, do a great job with me, so I'm really excited for the future.
Obviously, many felt that it was a roll of the dice for you against Chris Congo. You obviously didn't, but is that just what you needed? You needed that breakout fight on that kind of platform to put yourself in this kind of position?
Yeah, I've been knocking on the door for a long time, but I just didn't get that opportunity. All I needed was that one opportunity. I knew I could beat Chris Congo. My team knew I could beat Chris Congo. Not many people in the boxing world knew about me, so they didn't really back me. But Yeah, I made a bit of a statement in that win. Now I'm finally getting the credit and recognition I deserve. So yeah, now people know about me.
A tough fight against Ranowski. We saw him in a decent fight with Josh Kelly, losing on points quite a while ago, but since then has had some big wins as well. Was ranked very highly with the EBU as well. And I know you've had a bit of back and forth with the likes of Devon Alexander and those kind of people as well. Get through Ranowski, and then you want a big statement against a major name. But expecting a tough fight against a game kid in Ranowski, and definitely someone that's coming to win.
Yeah, I expect this to be a tough challenge. Those that know me know that I prefer to be in fights like that. I prefer challenges. I'm very ambitious. I've got a lot of self-belief. So yeah, my full focus is on Ranowski now. I know it's going to be a tough fight, but it's a fight that I'm confident in getting a good performance out and getting a good win, and then we can look at who's next.
Well, look forward to seeing you defending that WBO strap. August 14th, Natasha Jonas, welcome. I mean, I guess coming back here must be quite an experience for you after that tremendous fight against Terry Harper for the world title. Very close fight, could have gone either way. I know you thought you deserved to become world champion that night, but again, another really close fight with Katie Taylor. I guess for us, it's kind of like, I've always felt you were part of the team. We know you signed with us when you turned pro, but just agreed a new longer-term deal with yourself now as we look to get you back in for another shot at the world title. August the 14th, back in the ring. And really, your career, although coming off the back of those defeats, is going from strength to strength.
Yeah, I think every time I'm asked to step up and put on a performance that I do. And it's important that I do on the big stage. And yeah, I haven't failed yet. Fight of the year contenders every time. So when you want a fight of the year, put me on.
That fight against Katie Taylor was a thrilling fight, so close. She just edged away at the end of the fight as well. But again, showing that you're an absolute top pound-for-pound fighter. You know, 2 fights where you fought the very best in the divisions. Of course, Katie is considered the pound-for-pound #1 and pushed her all the way.
Yeah, I think for me, being the underdog and just having that step up means that I go away and train mentally better and try and be better. And I don't ever take any negatives from any of the fights. I'm always looking at the positives. She had a bit more experience in the later rounds, like you said, and that's something I'll go away and learn on, and it won't happen again. It won't happen again next time.
Obviously, you've had to jump into those World Championship shots again against great fighters. Now, looking to just do things, we want to move and get another shot at the world title, but just do things right, prepare, you know, get a good win under your belt against August the 14th. We know the rematch with Katie Taylor is a fight that we're talking about with a team, but also other fights, whether that be at super featherweight division, maybe even at 140 as well. Who knows, even McCaskill at 147. We know she's not really a welterweight fighter, but really the ability to fluctuate between all those weights to get that 3rd title challenge.
Yeah, I'm not a small, super heavy, so I mean, sorry, super feather, so I can go up and down. I said anyone between 140 and 147 now. Anyone who's got a title is a target, and nothing's ever changed.
Well, we look forward to seeing you back in action August the 14th, and also plenty of punditry for you on DAZN. You've become a bit of an expert in that role as well. That is week 3, August the 14th here. Plenty more announcements to come on August the 14th as well, but that tremendous main event, Joshua Boazzi against Richard Bolotniks, and of course the 3 gentlemen up here, and 2 gentlemen and a lady, Natasha Jonas.
No, steady,
Oh, no, steady. Looking to get back into action quickly. Michael McKinson, Hopi Price as well. Cash Farouk and Felix Cash also on this card as we look to finalise what is an incredible run at Fight Camp. We cannot wait for you to join us for this run, starting July the 31st, live on DAZN. So much news to come over the next few days and weeks. We'll be announcing our entire talent team. Looks like later this week. You are going to absolutely love it. We are going to continue to provide you with unrivaled value for money right across the world. Fight fans, this is for you. We look forward to seeing you soon. Back to those 2 gentlemen down there.